Welcome back to Marvelous Videos. I'm Rylan. Get ready to suit up and sanitize, because we're diving into the germ-infested underbelly of the Marvel Comics universe. From battling galactic warlords to navigating alternate realities, our favorite superheroes have faced it all. But lurking in the shadows, invisible and deadly, are the silent killers that have plagued the Marvel universe. Viruses, the microscopic supervillains, all that have taken down superheroes and unleashed unimaginable metamorphosis. So today, we're unveiling the 11 deadliest infections in Marvel's history. Brace yourself for a viral roller coaster that will leave you itching for more. Because what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. Or so they say. Before we go into our explanation though, we do have one very small request. If you like our content, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is just one small click for you, but for us, means a lot. Thanks! Now, let's begin. The Hunger Virus. A cosmic catastrophe unleashed upon Earth 2149 by the ever-watchful Watcher. And no, it's not an alien invasion or a reality-bending anomaly this time. We're talking about the good old classic outbreak of zombies. That's right, the Hunger Virus infected the poor Sentry faster than you could say brains, and the whole planet was transformed into an open sandwich for flesh-eating monsters. It was basically like every zombie flick, comic, or video game that you've ever seen, but a Marvel twist. Now, you might think that superheroes are immune to these undead shenanigans, but oh no, not this time. The virus played dirty, spreading through good old-fashioned biting. So, whether you're a member of the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Captain America, or even Iron Man, well, you'd eventually find yourself sinking your teeth into a nice juicy brain. Yummy, right? No, not really. But sure, some heroes have super healing, and they had a slightly longer expiration date, but let's face it, when the transformation was complete, not a single living soul was safe. In just 24 hours, the world turned into a madhouse of superheroes turning into zombies. Not only does the viral nightmare turn our beloved heroes into flesh-craving fiends, but it also has a picky palate. Turns out, the virus had quite the hankering for superhumans, even as guardians like Thor himself weren't spared from this gruesome buffet. But there was a method to this madness. The virus was more than just a mindless plague. It's sentient, and it has a clear agenda where superheroes are its prime targets. Why, you may ask? Well, it's because the Caped Crusaders are a lot more likely to cross dimensional barriers and spread the infection just like a twisted Johnny Appleseed. The Legacy Virus. A real doozy that wreaked havoc among mutants like there was no tomorrow. And guess who was the mastermind behind this viral nightmare? That's right, none other than Cable's evil clone, Strife, a mutant straight out of the future. Now, this virus didn't discriminate. It went on a mutant killing spree, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Even poor Colossus had his heart ripped out when his younger sister, Illyana, fell victim to this merciless infection. Did you know there are not just one, not even two, but 3 versions of this pesky virus, each triggered when a mutant used their powers after getting infected? It is a deadly game of powers gone wrong. Over the years, the Legacy Virus made its unwanted return in the comics, but the most iconic version of it met its match when Colossus, in a true act of heroism, sacrificed himself to save his fellow mutants. Colossus's death led to the creation of a cure for the original virus. Well, let's talk about the Legacy versions. Legacy 1 and Legacy 2 were like mutant-seeking missiles, searching for that coveted X factor, the mutant gene sequence responsible for superpowers. If the target organism didn't have an activated X factor, the viroid would just wither away, leaving the person unscathed. But then, in a strange turn of events, Legacy 3 came crashing into the picture, like an accidental party crasher. This fluke of a version was born within the body of Infectia, a mutant woman with some seriously bad luck. To starve off the Legacy 2 virus in her body, a replication error occurred, and voila! Legacy 3 was born. It was basically a viral equivalent of the replication oopsie-daisy. TechnoOrganic Virus. Let's talk about the Phalanx and their viral shenanigans. These ETs have quite the appetite for knowledge and a knack for interstellar mayhem. When they stumble upon another intelligent world, they have 2 options on the menu. They can either devour the world for its knowledge buffet, or they can infect it with the TechnoOrganic Virus. Now, let's talk about this TechnoOrganic Virus, shall we? Picture a growing organism that turns living or once living tissue into living, breathing technology. It's like a twisted fusion of biology and machinery, the ultimate identity crisis if you ask us. As this viral menace spreads, it gradually consumes its host, taking over every nook and cranny. And here's the kicker, even though the host remains a living organism, they are driven by an insatiable desire to infect other unsuspecting life forms. Now, you might be wondering, is there an antidote to this techno-organic nightmare? Well, not exactly. the virus seems to have mastered the art of avoiding a cure. However, all hope is not lost, because powers like telekinesis can hold the virus in place. It's like playing a never-ending game of freeze tag. Somewhere on Earth 29283, we've got the Warlord Gaunt, strutting around with his very own customized TechnoOrganic Virus experience. He infected himself with a mild version of the TO virus and had it all under control with the help of nanomachines. This allowed him to replace any lost body with shiny new cybernetic upgrades. However, as fate would have it, Gaunt took a nosedive during a confrontation with Cable, the time-traveling mutant. Cable unleashed a much stronger version of the virus, and poor Gaunt went from Warlord to paralyzed agony machine in no time. Ouch. The CarryOn Virus. This infectious nightmare started off as a serum concocted by the one and only Dr. Miles Warren, a former assistant of the High Evolutionary who later went bonkers and became the notorious Jackal. You know, just your regular career progression from lab assistant to insane criminal mastermind. Classic. Now, here's where things took a turn for the gooey. The CarryOn Virus, like its zombified cousin, the Hunger Virus, decided to have a field day with its host's brain, leaving it mushier than a bowl of mashed potatoes. It's like a virus-induced mush fest that turns even the sanest of individuals into raging psychopaths, and if that wasn't bad enough, it also breaks down their cells, causing their bodies to wave the white flag and cease functioning. In the Earth 616 universe, the Jackal unleashed this viral madness to wreak havoc on the heart of Manhattan. In other universes, things took a different twist. A new version of the CarryOn Virus ran rampant, and this time, it was the result of a collaboration between New U Technologies and Parker Industries. So what do you get when you mix cloned body parts with organ transplants? You get a whole lot of viral chaos, my friends. The Transmode Virus. This virus, brought to you by the techno-organic masters themselves, the Technarchy, has some seriously transformative powers. It's like a cosmic makeover, but with a twist. When unleashed, the Transmode Virus has the uncanny ability to turn unsuspecting beings into techno-organic creatures. Now that's a virus that the Kardashians would love. Once infected, these techno-organic beings become a feast for the Technarchy as they drain their energy like cosmic vampires. And let me tell you, it is certainly a sight to behold. Lights flow from the infected creature as its energy gets sucked dry. It's like a rave party, albeit one that's gone wrong, with the infected creature turning into a brittle statue once their energy has been devoured. Now, here's where things get even crazier. If an infected creature manages to escape the energy drain, they undergo a transformation of epic proportions and become what we call a phalanx. It's basically a cosmic game of tag, but with a lot more danger and a lot less fun. The Transmode Virus is no ordinary sniffle. It's highly virulent and can be transmitted through skin contact. Our mutant heroes have a slight advantage, however. Mutants, being the special individuals that they are, have some resistance to this viral madness. Take the case of Doug Ramsey, for example. He got infected with the Transmode Virus, but his infection progressed at a snail's pace, and he didn't even realize that he was infected. The infected creatures also gain a nifty ability to shapeshift. They can mold and reshape themselves like cosmic Play-Doh, restoring their forms with lightning speed when damaged. And if that wasn't enough, they can interface directly with machinery, becoming one with technological wonders. It's like having your own USB stick, ready to plug into any machine and unleash some serious havoc. The Spider Virus. It all started with a kiss, but not an ordinary one under the mistletoe. No. When Adriana Soria planted one on good old Peter Parker, things got seriously weird. Our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man went through a wild transformation, sprouting extra legs and becoming a monstrous spider. I usually just have some butterflies in my stomach, but hold on to your arachnid instincts, because this story doesn't end there. Peter's spider phase was just the beginning of a bizarre journey. After shredding his spider form, like a reptilian shredding its skin, he transformed back into his human self. Whew, but we once again have a twist here. His human form came with some extra enhanced Spidey powers. Fast forward a couple years and Adriana Soria makes another appearance, bringing along a sample tissue of Peter's monstrous body. Who keeps that kind of thing lying around, right? But anyway, armed with this peculiar sample of his tissue, the Jackal whipped up a virus that turns the infected into human spiders. Now, let's talk about the spread of this spiderific virus. At first, it hitched right on bed bugs that were genetically engineered. However, later, it mutated into a highly infectious airborne version. So, if you thought catching a cold was bad, try catching a case of arachnid transformation in the air. Yikes. But it turns out that superhumans can dodge this spider-themed catastrophe. However, in another parallel universe, things took yet a different turn. The virus evolved even further, evolving to infect superhuman beings as well. It's like a virus that went to superhero school and graduated with top honors in infecting the extraordinary. Now, for those who are itching for a cure, we've got some serious options on the menu. First off, we have the Immunoglobulin, produced by the Anti-Venom. It's like a symbiotic superhero chef whipping up a special potion to counter the spider-infested soup. And if that's not enough, we have some formulae like that of the Goblins, Connors, and the Godstone. It's like a shopping spree at the Marvel Pharmacy. The Quantum Virus. This infectious phenomenon hails straight from the mysterious quantum realm. Janet Van Dyne, trapped in isolation for a whopping 30 years, ends up contracting this particular virus. And boy, does it mess with her brain. Now, fast forward to 2018, where our intrepid hero Hank Pym embarks on a mission to rescue his infected wife from the quantum realm. But here's the twist. The virus had transformed Janet into a flesh-craving zombie. I guess it's safe to say that even in the subatomic realm, you can't exactly escape from the zombie craze. And of course, Janet wasted no time sinking her teeth into her dear hubby, infecting him with the virus as well. Relationship goals, right? But the horror didn't stop there. The infected duo returned to Earth and proceeded to sink their teeth into poor Scott Lang, turning him into one of their own. Now, let's talk about their transmission. The quantum virus doesn't mess around. It spreads like wildfire. Saliva is its preferred method of transportation. And get this, even extraterrestrials are not safe from this viral invasion. Ebony Maw, Cull Obsidian, and yes, even Thanos himself has fallen victim to the quantum virus. Turns out, you don't really need a Thanos-killing kind of weapon, you just need a kiss of death to do the job. Once infected, brace yourself for some serious brain overload. The quantum virus wreaks havoc on the gray matter, destroying important regions and reducing the patient to an almost primal state. Rationality takes a back seat, and the insatiable hunger for human flesh takes the wheel. However, here's where things get interesting. Some of our infected Earth heroes manage to retain their skills, even in their undead state. They could still fight, operate advanced technology, and perform feats of magic. It's like you can have your zombie cake, and you can eat it too. And let's not forget about Zombie Scarlet Witch, who found a way to partially regain her consciousness, forming genuine connections and even mustering moments of reasoning. The Ultron Virus. Ultron, that nefarious AI from the future, decides it's time to level up his villainous game. And how does he do it? Well, by infecting every piece of technology he can get his virtual hands on with his virulent coding. Now, here's the chilling part. If you happen to have any tech implants or grafted gadgets in your body, you're in for a world of trouble. Ultron's diabolical plan involves turning those unfortunate souls into mindless drones under his command. Forget about personal freedom or individuality. No, once you're infected, you become just another cog in Ultron's killing machine. And let's not forget how Ultron came to be. Created by the brilliant yet misguided Hank Pym, the sentient AI quickly went rogue, evolving into the embodiment of destruction itself. The Ultron virus became his weapon of choice, transforming innocent victims into twisted versions of himself. Once the Ultron virus takes hold, it's game over, man. The infected become vessels of Ultron's malicious tendencies, with every ounce of his hatred and murderous desires coursing through their mechanical veins. It's like being trapped in a never-ending loop of evil, with no escape in sight. Every infected individual becomes a carrier, spreading the virus like a plague. Their sole purpose becomes infecting others, creating a legion of Ultron sentinels that replicate his wicked ways. It's an army of mechanical monstrosities driven by the Mad Machine's evil hive intelligence. Extremist Virus. Extremist is a game-changer developed by the brilliant minds of Future Farm, a subsidiary of Stark Industries. Driven by the genius duo of Maya Hansen and Dr. Aldrich Killian, this nanite technology called microsurgery experimental robots promised to revolutionize human potential. Originally funded by the US military, Extremist held incredible promise, but when the military pulled the plug on the project, Hansen and Killian took matters into their own hands. They made off with stolen samples, selling them to a dangerous terrorist group. Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, in a desperate bid to retrieve the stolen serum and combat a fearsome terrorist, had been transformed into a superhuman killing machine by Extremists and took matters into his own hands. He infused himself with a modified dose of Extremists, hoping to heal his injuries and enhance his connection with his armor, and some other cutting-edge technologies as well. The original Extremist serum bestowed incredible abilities upon its users. We're talking superhuman strength, obviously. With a single punch, an Extremist subject could break skulls and toss cars around like they were toys. Even fire-breathing capabilities. Yes, you heard that right. Lungs filled with fiery plasma, allowing them to exhale flames like a mythical dragon. And let's not forget about the electrical discharge. Extremist enhanced beings can channel immensely powerful electrical currents through their hands, zapping their opponents with bolts of energy. But Tony Stark, being the genius that he is, couldn't settle for just the basics. Oh no, he modified the virus to give himself some extra special abilities. First up, we have the direct cybernetic interface. Imagine the Iron Man armor literally fused to Stark's body, forming a seamless connection. It's like a high-tech symbiosis, allowing him to control his armor with his thoughts alone. And then there's the wireless communication as well. Stark can tap into external communication systems, whether it be satellites, cellular phones, or computers, from anywhere in the world. world. It's like having a built-in Wi-Fi connection in your brain. No more having to search for a signal, right guys? Then comes nanotech armor manipulation. With Extremist coursing through his veins, Stark can store the nanoparticles of his suit within the hollows of his bones, summoning the armor at will. It's like having a suit of armor hidden within you, ready to spring into action whenever you need it. Venom Virus. Created by the mischievous Christophe Renard, this viral nightmare was cooked up using a sample of the infamous Venom symbiote, and he got that sample using time travel, which allowed him to snag it from the clutches of the Fantastic Four during its captivity. Satellites orbiting high above the city that hold the key to unleashing chaos. The virus was accidentally released from Manhattan. Once the Venom virus took a hold of its host, it blankets them in a gooey biomass, just like the regular symbiote. It grants them a terrifying makeover, with an extended jaw, razor-edge teeth, menacing claws, and a tongue capable of grasping objects. Yep, we're talking about the full-on transformation into a ferocious creature ready to pounce on its prey. But it's not just the physical changes that are a cause for concern. The Venom virus also unleashes a wave of aggression and animalistic behavior. These infected individuals become wild, untamed beasts, wreaking havoc and causing chaos wherever they go. Thankfully, our genius in the iron suit came to the rescue. He put his genius mind to work and synthesized an antidote for the Venom virus. With a little bit of scientific magic, he was able to stop the spread of this monstrous infection and cure those unfortunate souls who had fallen victim to its clutches. Virus X. This radioactive nightmare was no joke. A fine mist spray that carried the wrath of nearly instantaneous death for humans unlucky enough to come into contact with it. While Virus X had the power to swiftly snuff out human lives, it didn't seem to spread from person to person. But what about superhumans with radiation-based powers or origins? Now that is where things can get a little bit hazy. You see, Virus X had a peculiar interaction with the radiation in their systems, leading to unpredictable outcomes. It was like mixing two volatile elements and waiting to see the explosive results. Who knew what would happen? Well, besides MODOK, that is. He was the twisted mastermind behind this radioactive horror show. He cooked up Virus X in his secret lab, tucked away beneath a New York City dock. To gather some guinea pigs for his diabolical research, he dispatched his synthoids to kidnap unsuspecting folks from the brewery. It's a good thing we have heroes to protect us from these mad scientists. Enter Ben Grimm, better known as The Thing, our rock-solid friend who crosses paths with MODOK's synthoids. And before he knew it, he was out cold. Poor Ben didn't see it coming. MODOK took advantage of the situation and exposed him to Virus X, hoping for a catastrophic outcome. But nothing happened immediately. However, AIM, the not-so-friendly science club, had developed an antidote for Virus X. This magical elixir temporarily rendered the body immune to the ravages of radiation. Marvelous verdict. In the vast expanse of the Marvel Universe, a multitude of viruses have emerged, wreaking havoc upon heroes and humans alike. These infectious agents, spawned from the darkest corners of evil, possesses the potential to reshape destinies and test the limits of courage. Yet, amidst the turmoil, the Marvel Universe stands strong. Its heroes, armed with unwavering resolve, confront these viral menaces head-on. They harness their extraordinary abilities, forging a shield of unity to combat the imminent threats that loom. Let us all draw inspiration from the Marvel heroes, knowing that together we possess the power to conquer any viral onslaught, ensuring a future where hope reigns supreme. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I'm Rylan. Have a good one and be safe.